Huh. What fun! Whoops. You were lurking. Okay, I won't tell anybody. Oh no! Hey, Ansley. Oh, thank you. Sweet dreams. Ooh, that one's tight. Some of the white shows through yet. Hey, Craig. Hey, Pat. One of them. Val. Hey, Lobster. Good to see you, man. Um, how long did it take? I think this is 4.5, 5 hours. And I'm actually printing a PlayStation logo right now. Just the PS. Like that, kinda. I don't know. It looks nothing like that. Don't worry about it. It's kind of a pain in the neck because this material absorbs water very well. And the smart guy that I am is using water-based paint, so it's kind of bleeding in ferociously. It's actually weird. I've been starting to just gob it on, and then by the time it bleeds in, it dries almost normal, as if it was just one nice thin coat. I'm going to leave those little bits in between the letters. I'm going to leave those white because they're not part of the letter themselves. But while the black sets up onto the red, and I need a new cup. Because my black paint was starting to kick, and I squeezed out a dollop, and half of it was solid. Behave yourselves while I'm gone, kids. This episode was not sponsored by Mini Red Solo Cups. A YouTube play button. I was going to print myself up a diamond one and put tinfoil paint or tinfoil tape on it. Misbehaving. Why do I believe you? But if you just want a 2000 sub button, I'll print you one of them. Unless you also want a diamond button. I think it's the 10 million subs, you get the diamond. And you actually weren't the first person to request a play button. 1 trillion? Oh, I don't know about that. Who put the keyboard way under there? Oops. Thank you very much. Just shy of 1 trillion subs. So more than 999 million of them aren't actually sub to you. I'm bugging you. Well, that's that diamond. Looking for Jessica Simpson sunglasses. How are you, John? I can't remember when I woke up at a party and I was looking for my Jessica Simpson sunglasses. See, if I was smart, I would have printed this in white. It's hard to find good help, I tell you. Yeah, sunglasses are better than panties, I suppose. So I wouldn't want to be looking for the latter if they were mine. At least I wouldn't admit to it with my friends once they woke up. Hey, Nate. Yeah, don't we all, dude? You know what, Nate? I can't even figure out how to make one of my own custom ones with my own name on it. Um, I do have the program to do it. It's called SolidWorks. It is an absolute beast of a program, and I'm having a lot of trouble learning it. You know what? Since I didn't print this in white, we're going to be printing some white tonight too. On the inside of those letters there, like on the inside, it's going to be, I'm going to paint that white. And then it'll be red around the outside. And my brush is too big. That's what she said. Ah. I know I kind of walked on Chris's live doing this, but he said he wasn't going to be long, so I held out for quite a while, and then he brought Krillin on, so then I knew he was going to be a while. So here I am. The tubes needs a choice. That's how I saw it. Good night, Val. Sweet dreams. Hey, thanks, Lobster. Little smear there. It's not supposed to be there. Ah. Good as new, almost. Had to come back. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. Little internet hookup, hiccup, I guess. I don't know. It said I had no internet, and then I walked over to my router and my modem, and it says, yeah, you're connected. Good night, Lobster. I was going to do just red and black tonight, but I took the opportunity to grab some white and another cup of cleanup water, and we'll be doing some white tonight as well. Listening to the sultry sounds of the band 3D. If I was smart and I planned this properly, I would have started with my lighter colors like I shoulda. So doing black and then red and then white should be interesting. You see how it's all splotchy and faded? Basically I have to keep going over that until it's a solid red. It happened again. Down to 2 people. Well, thank you, 2 people. And there they go. Show me pickers. Hello. Welcome to my solitude. I think I'd have to leave them white if I wanted to list them. Because all the logos that I'm printing, I'm painting basically the color that they are. Because I'm kind of, I'm trying to make a logo shelf, if you will, where I'll have a bunch of these on the shelf. I started with that guy. Once I made that, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make more. That took 5.5 hours to print, 5.5, 6 hours. And then I'm roughly half done painting it and I'm already an hour in, so healthy half a day anyway. It could be worse. I could have worse habits, worse hobbies. Show me pickers. Is that you, John? Ah, okay. Ooh, printer's rumbling. What the? Hour left. About 70 layers. No, it's not making them. Okay. Maybe not a problem. Oh, I see you there. Give me a second. Then I'll have to change my audio over so I can hear you, so I won't be able to hear you right away. I'm just not putting a goopy paintbrush in my mouth. There, I should be able to hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's amazing, my man.
Thank you. I usually got things routed through my headset, so.
Yeah, you're so freaking talented.
I have my moments.
I was looking on eBay. You got me looking. I've got it's about 8 foot long and about 6.5 feet tall. I bought a shelving unit. I got to go pick up either tomorrow or the next day. And I'm going to take it to my store, and it's going to go behind me on the wall. And it came out of an old turn of the century, like a Western store. And I'm going to use that behind me where I sit at the store and do my videos and stuff. And I'm going to put all the stuff that people buy me, and my decorative stuff's going to go on that shelf from people from YouTube and stuff. So I was looking on here, looking at play buttons, because I'd like to get one. But man, they're flipping expensive.
Authentic ones or 3D printed?
Either way, like here's a new YouTube silver play button from Canada. They want $821.69. Customized text. It's 1,100 approximate Canadian dollars, and they've sold 2 of those, my man.
Oh, hey.
One for 1,800 and one for 1,400.
I can't imagine that's a 3D printed one.
I don't know, my guy. Let me screen share here real quick. And I don't know if they're just made out of blocks of aluminum, or what. But oh, you have to bring me in. But they're 1,100, and that's
exact replica. It looks like brushed aluminum.
Yeah. I mean, there's not $1,100 worth of material in there. When you look at the two that have sold, one sold back in April and one sold in February of last year. And they both sold to the same person, so I don't know about all that. This would be cool here, just to have like a play button. It says 2 sold. I don't know what that means, but it's pretty cool. It would be. I don't want anything like that. If I get a silver play button, I want to earn it. But it would be cool to. Here's a YouTube red and white play button, 3D printed, size of the real silver play button, $9.99. Holy crap, they ain't.
They're not fucking around.
They're not making anything off of it. It's kind of rough though. It doesn't look real smooth. Like they must have had the quality turned way up or down, or however you do that on a 3D printer.
Huh.
You can see the lines in it.
Oh yeah.
You still in the chat, Craigie Poo? That looks awesome. What'd be really cool would be get a mirror and cut it to the size of the back of that and epoxy it to the back, and it would say you, and then the tube would be reflective. That would look really cool.
You know what? I got a little piece of mirror that might fit on there.
That would look freaking awesome. Man, that's cool, my man. That is neat. That makes me want to get 3D printer. Because that's cool. Like I ain't never seen another one like that. Did they print the base and everything together?
Yeah.
That's too.
Yeah, I'm basically painting the bottom as it was printed.
Yeah.
And then it just printed up from there.
That is.
And then basically just went back and forth layer by layer as it built the base up.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh man, Shark Picker is still there. We were in a private hangout. I need to give you the URL for that. That way, if you ever just feel like talking and you don't feel like being live, there's always somebody in there most nights. It's a couple of YouTubers that it's a YouTuber that created it, but he's my buddy, so I can give out the link to people. But we just sit there and talk, mostly about craziness.
There's not enough of that on YouTube.
Well, it's kind of nice to be able to talk. You know what I'm saying. Sometimes it's nice to be able to talk.
Yeah.
Just amongst other people about stuff. Because some things you want to talk about, you can't talk about because you're streaming, or you want to make a joke, but you can't make the joke because you're streaming.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, you don't want people to think you're some kind of weirdo like Craig. Drop the link in the chat. It's not gonna happen. That would make Jason pretty upset. Normally it's me or Craig or Barry, Thrifty Santa, Rise and Grind Picker. I think Nate has the link. I've given it to him. Jason Static, it says Hangout, but we just go in there and just talk to each other. But that's really cool. That Hot Wheels one's pretty awesome too. If you let Derek, the Hot Wheel or NASCAR man, if he sees that thing, he'll be trying to hit you up to get one.
Yeah, funny you say that. He was in the premiere.
Oh, and did he like it?
Yeah, and someone had asked in the chat, "Are you selling those?" And I said, "Well, this one's just for me, but as a reseller, everything has its price."
Right.
And Derek commented, "Yeah, that was a shot for me."
I knew it. I knew it. I like Derek. He's a good guy. Yeah, he loves anything that NASCAR. I like him too. I'd like to do a toy show with him. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Just a show about toys. I've been trying to get some other resellers to do a. I want to do a show, a reselling show, and just call it that reselling show, and that would be the. It's on up here, John. What's Yeah, I think Dad's Vintage Garage. I've sent you, John. I've sent you the link to that before because we were in there one night talking about a certain virus, and you had wanted to know more if there was any private chats. I think I sent you the message with that link. I'm thinking about setting up my own and making it available to because you can set the rooms up to where people have to knock to get in, and you have to see them before they can come in, and you can pay for it monthly. And I'm thinking about getting one, and that way I can make it available to my YouTube subscribers that if they want to get a hold of me, that they can make myself available like a couple days a week. If they have any YouTube or any questions, they can come in and maybe I can help them about with eBay or something. If they have any eBay questions.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow. I even got my nap today, but I'm still yawning. It was beautiful weather here today, my man. It was 65. Woo.
Wow.
It was a little piece of heaven.
I finished my fried chicken in the oven for lunch today, and I think it was 65 degrees in the damn oven.
What time does the 65-degree temperatures typically hit up there from your neck of the woods?
What is 65? That's about 15 to 20. I probably won't see that for at least another month, at the very, very least. No shit, it's only beginning of March, so yeah, mid-May, end of May, right in there. Closer towards the end of May, because once all the snow melts, we're still going to get 2 weeks of cold because the frost is still lifting out of the ground.
Oh, really?
So like you can be up high, like for example, up on a drilling floor on a rig or something like that. It'd be nice and warm, but you go down to the ground, you can actually feel the cold radiate from underneath.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
But if we're lucky, get a nice hard rain for 2 days, and that frost just disappears. Hi, Lynn.
Hey, Pearl. I normally and these yearbooks just don't sell for crap. They sell for about $12 and 12 to 15 bucks. Figure they'd sell for more being from Chicago. I might be able to put 25 bucks a piece on them and let people make me offers. Yeah, that one I've got right here is 1955, and heck, it sold for $16.95. Yeah, I got like a buck a piece in them. I just like to make more money than that.
So what we're working on, Lynn? I'm gonna go get one of those mirrors to see if they do fit.
What you doing up so late, Lynn? Yeah, having trouble sleeping like the rest of us night owls? Oh, I don't know, John. You should have messaged me back. You're welcome to.
Ooh. I'll have to cut it.
You have a scoring tube? What's it look like? Hold it up, and if you well, it's probably wet, ain't it? Oh, I see. It's a. Yeah, that would look cool.
So, IKEA mirror. Did
Yeah.
some Lichtenberg burning on the frame.
Yeah. I like that. I seen some guy selling that on. He was selling that kind of burnt on eBay. IKEA frame. IKEA.
Now these are little mirrors I picked up at a garage sale for 50 cents a piece. And at the time, I was doing a lot of Lichtenberg burning, so that's why I bought them, because it was a
you
nice.
did that burning?
Yeah,
That's cool. How do you do that?
I have I made a rig out of a microwave transformer. So it goes from a microwave transformer, and then I've got a pair of like jumper cable alligator clips,
Yeah.
and then some very expensive marine electrical wire. Then you just and I've got it running through what's called a variac transformer, which it's got a big dial on the top that lets you dial the voltage up and down and even go over voltage. So like you can speed it up and get a nice deep burn like that,
Yeah.
or you slow it down and get really fine detail like that.
That is.
And then you just have a solution of baking soda and water, and that's your electrolyte. But it has to be an old microwave, before, like, pre-inverter microwave.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
I'm not even sure what I used, because I glued these on the back. I removed the mirror when I burnt it.
If if you can't find them, John, you might be able to. I mean, could you order them from another seller?
Boy, I really did a good job mounting them in there.
I could imagine that you're pretty. You're gonna do something. You're gonna do it pretty good. You're not gonna do it half-ass.
No. If it's worth doing, it really is worth doing right.
Right, right.
You should see that shelf that I put just to hold up my little bitty thermal printer.
Is it pretty big? Oh, that wooden
It's
shelf.
it's just resting right on top of the laser printer, right?
Yeah.
But it's 5/8 thick on the side there. That's an inch and a half thick. 5/8.
Yeah.
So that'd be inch and a quarter, I think. Or the shelf holding my monitors up.
Right. That's cool.
Like that ain't ever gonna sag.
No, no,
My next computer is gonna have dual 24s.
I I I have the, if you can't really tell, but I have like two 32-inch monitors, and then that's my computer right there. That's pretty freaky. There you go, right there.
The infinite mirror.
That'll mess with you. That gets a little. If anybody's doing LSD and watching your channel, they're gonna enjoy this trip. But I have the 232-inch, like, this is my monitor here that I'm listing on, and then I have you over here, and that's how I normally work. I'll have, and these monitors are not expensive. They were the Samsungs that Walmart had a couple years ago, like 2018, I think. Yeah, I bought two of them. They were like $200 a piece or something, and I was like, "Hell's yeah!"
Yeah, the monitors I'm looking at, like I'm shopping now for a new gaming and workstation PC in the fall because I'm going to work this summer, which will get for 6 months of work will give me about 50 grand.
Oh shoot!
So I was going to build a whole new computer with all new monitors and everything because the one I've got, it's an Alienware Area 51, but it's 11 years old now.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. So it's,
and I cannot find brand new RAM. Mind you, it's got 12 gigs, but I can't find brand new RAM for it. So I'd have to upgrade the RAM. Problem is, it's a Dell proprietary motherboard. So I'd have to upgrade the motherboard to be able to handle faster RAM.
yeah.
So I do that. I'll have to upgrade the CPU and piss on it. I might as well just build a brand new computer.
Right. Is it an ATX case? Can you reuse the case?
Yeah, but there's the motherboard and there's 3 other circuit boards on top of that.
Oh, okay, so it's just the configuration the way it's inside the case.
Yeah, like it's there's one circuit board in there that handles all the thermals. Like it's got the active venting on top where the vents come up.
Right.
But and then it's got another circuit board to run the RGB. But paying what I did for that thing, for that boat anchor, is the equivalent of buying a Range Rover and expecting the thing to last 20 years.
Right. A lot of those, I went to a pick one time and I resell. In my last video, I showed a computer I sold, an old proprietary computer from, I think it, oh boy, I can't remember the manufacturer, the one that put out a bunch that wasn't Dell. They sold a ton of them at Walmart. And golly, I made 100 and I sold it for $125. And holy crap, the thing was from 2002, I think, 2001. So if you go to buy a new computer and you're not attached to that computer, if you can wipe it and clean it, there's somebody out there that wants it for vintage gaming or something.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that yet. People give me computers for free, and I've made $1,000 the past couple months on selling free computers.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it at all.
Craig, I thought it was a pure Alienware computer, and then I applied for financing for it. Yes, I financed a $4,700 computer, and it took me to Dell financing. So Dell still owned it, but it was an Alienware website that I spec'd it from. But I can't go to Alienware to get parts. Like I can't order that one circuit board that's messed up, but I wouldn't go to Alienware for the part. I'd actually go to Dell.
What's the the model number of your computer off the top of your head?
The build number, no.
I didn't know if you knew the, like, it's like Alienware, whatever. Yeah, sometimes they.
Yeah, it's an Area 51 before they changed the design.
Yeah,
like they really drastically changed the design of the case in them. It's free. Actually, I'll go like this.
the Area 51, just the Aurora bare bones. Oh, that looks freaking awesome! I told you, man. Told you that looked freaking cool.
Yeah, if I go that route, I'll actually go back and repaint the back white, so that red doesn't. But I don't know, that red right against the mirror there kind of adds a dimension to it.
I love it. Yeah, I kind of like it.
So I'm going to be painting the inside of these letters white because it's just it's not a pure white. Well, maybe it is white. What the hell am I smoking? Yeah, it is white. Crackhead. So that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking maybe it was the natural,
Yeah.
but it is white, obviously. So I won't have to paint that white. I'll just touch up in there where I got a little wacky with the paintbrush.
It wasn't Packer Bell or Acer. It was I just archived it. I can look at my completed listings and see, because I do that. I archive all my stuff. Most people, they don't archive their sold listings, and that drives me nuts. You'll see them on a forum. It'll say in the past 90 days, I did like $15,000, and I'm like 90 days or the past week. Like, do you archive your orders or not? Because we've did 90 days, we've did like a little over 14,000. If I would be not lazy and list every day, we'd probably be up around 20. But I don't like to I don't really need to make a ton of money on eBay. I don't work on eBay because I want to be rich. I work on eBay because I want to be free. Look at that pretty man. All reflective.
Where?
I just seen him in a mirror. For 6 months out of the year, you say?
I'll be driving shit truck, manure spreader, doing corral cleaning.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I used to work at a wastewater treatment plant. I had a Class C wastewater license, and I know a little bit about spreading turds.
Yeah, I've worked for him in the past full time. He's a really good dude. He's actually Hutterite escapee.
A what?
He's an ex Hutterite.
I don't know what that means.
When he was well, he grew up on the Hutterite colony, and when he was 15 years old, he packed a suitcase and walked down the road.
Is that an indigenous people or something, or?
It's like Amish that accepts technology.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. I couldn't do the Amish thing.
See, nowadays they're allowing the younger guys to leave the colony and then come back once. But he left back when once you leave the colony, you can't come back.
That's sad.
So he left. He he drove shit truck till he turned, oh God, I think he turned 20, and then he bought the company that he was working for.
That's
because
cool.
the old fella that old fella didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, we have Mennonites that just moved into our area, and everyone's in romantic, some kind of romantic mood about them, and I'm just like, I don't care. I mean, it ain't something that I fantasize about, living a life where I can't wear deodorant.
Or you have to paint matte black paint on all the chrome on your car.
I mean, they don't have cars. These are like the buggy driving Amish, and they're they don't have electricity or anything. They're good people. I've talked to them a little bit, but at auctions and stuff. They do have a Mennonite church. There's Mennonites in the area as well, and it's pretty interesting.
God, there is a show on. I watched it. Where the hell did I watch it? I think it was on CBC. But if you
Amish,
if you search for it, you can watch each episode online. There's 5 episodes, but it was kind of a mini series, is what they called it. It was about the Mennonite mob.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about. Um, it had that one fat Amish guy on there, and he'd go around and give money to people, and he'd mess with people. We had something like that similar down here in the States. It's probably the same show, or the same premise. And the dude kind of lived outside of the law of the Amish law to protect the Amish people, but he also extorted them too. So he wasn't.
it was called Pure.
Yeah, this is a different one. I can't think of the name of the show. I'm sure Craig will probably know.
And it was there is the trailer on YouTube on WGN America's channel.
No, it's called the Amish Mafia. So that's the name of the show here in the United States. The Levi was the leader.
On Pure, they talked about, they're basically showcasing the how they were making drugs in Mexico, hiding it in cheese, and then bringing it up to Canada.
Really?
And the thing with the Mennonites is they only deal with their own people. They speak their own language. So it was really interesting. And there's a couple of actors in that miniseries that are somewhat popular.
Amish dealing in some drugs. You ever watch? I really loved Canadian Pickers. It was a show that was on up there for just a little bit.
They're still on.
Oh, they are?
I know a guy who he owned a heavy oil field hauling company. Basically, the winch trucks and the bed trucks. He basically hauled the dog houses around from rig to rig.
Yeah.
He sold that company, and to for something to do, he started picking. And he's got 3 shops on his farm full of stuff that he has picked or kept. One of them's full of cars. And he actually has a bar that he bought in a hotel in Boise, Idaho. This thing is 24 feet long. And the bar was built, he said the bar was built in 1878. Like the hotel. They basically put the bar in and then built the hotel around it. But it has one piece mirror on the backsplash that goes the 24 feet. How he got that all the way up here without breaking that mirror, I have no idea.
That's crazy. So it was like a back.
Yeah, like the it was the complete bar, like the bar that you would sit where the customer would sit at, and then the back bench with the mirror, and then like a big hutch really for a computer desk. Like it went up and then spanned the whole thing. But anyway, he has called Canadian Pickers, and they said it's a 2-year waiting list.
Wow. That's what they call a back bar, where the mirror is, and where it holds the alcohol. Those sell for really, really good money.
But I find Canadian pickers kind of cheap, to be honest with you.
Really?
I'll give you $1 for it. And to put in perspective, the American pickers, if they come across something that's valuable and the person goes, well, I'll take $50 for it. And if the guy knows it's worth lots, he'll go, I'll tell you what, I'll give you $150 for that.
Right.
They were quite a bit fairer with their price.
Well, the thing is that now Mike is a really nice guy, but could you imagine if they were cheap bastards? They probably still wouldn't be on TV, you know. So they're making more money off TV sales or TV or like shirt sales than they are anything else. So, and you got me all jealous with that YouTube thing now. That's gonna look sweet with that mirror in it.
Yeah, I'm actually am painting the inside white. It's making it pop quite a bit.
Yeah, it will. That's gonna be cool. I like that tattoo on your arm, man. Those are cool. I didn't realize you had so many tattoos. I guess I never seen your arms much. That's
Yeah,
cool.
each of those pieces took an hour. This one was the longest.
Yeah.
Took an hour 45 just to bang that gray wash in.
That's crazy. Oh, that's awesome. What is that supposed to be?
It's kind of demon with a tongue turning into a snake.
Oh, that is cool.
He did work that I wanted on my right arm, and I paid $100 a piece for my right arm, and I've got a bat coming out of my arm on my shoulder or on my upper arm. And he goes, well, $100 a piece, but I own the left arm. And I said, well, you know what? You got a deal, because I've seen his drawings. And he had quite a plan in place for my left arm. It was going to be an entire sleeve, but to make a long story really short, we had a bit of a falling out. It was bad enough to the point where I would probably never let him come near my skin with a sharp object.
Wow. It happens. Not everybody's compatible. just ask Pat D's. We're all people have different personalities. I'm more of a laid back kind of guy. I don't really a lot of people don't realize it, but I have a lot of anxiety, and I don't like confrontation. I just don't.
Yeah, I'm a bumblebee myself. Like, I'll leave you alone. I'll leave everybody alone, but don't you dare step on my nest.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that I'm such a, I just want people to get along. And if I'm like a rattlesnake, I'll let you know. But if you see me striking, it's because, you've did something to me. I don't go looking to bite people, because if you use your venom up, then you got nothing to protect you with. If you're one of those people that's always looking to cause problems, eventually people don't believe you're the innocent person anymore. I picked up this book at the frickin' auction the other day. It's a Frank Lloyd Wright. They only made 200 of them, and they're autographed, and it comes with a slip case. And man, they sell for a ton of money. There's some of them on eBay, but they're not the limited edition ones, like the one that I have, that's signed by the artist and the author. And I bought it at the auction for like $1. and somebody wanted to get it from me while I was there. And I learned a long time ago, never sell anything at the auction. If somebody's got an interest in it, give them your card and tell them they can buy it off eBay. And that's what I told her. I said, it'll be listed on eBay if you want to bid on it or make me an offer. But I don't. I said, I'll even ship it to you for free if you decide you want it. I brought it home, looked it up on WorthPoint, and one back in like 2015 sold for $168.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I came an inch because I knew the lady, and something inside of me, that better judgment says, yeah, don't do it, John. Keep that item and don't do it. And I'm glad I didn't. Because that was a bit of, that would have been a nice, that's a nice find. Once it's over 168.75 back in 2015, June 17th. And I only spent $160 there that day. So this one item will pay for everything, and I filled my truck up.
Nice.
Right? A long story short, that's the opposite of a Krillin story. Lynn said that's neat, Cliff. Thank you very much, Lynn. She says, I love Nevermore Antiques. I appreciate that.
Dave's Farm on YouTube. Never heard of it.
Have a good night, Craig.
Good night, Craig.
I think we would list this and list it for $250 and put best offer on it because they're pretty rare. And I'd like to wake up tomorrow with $250 in my bank account. Good night, John. Unless you're talking, unless you're talking to Craig.
He's just being polite and we're kicking him out.
Get out of here. We don't, I like John. He's a good guy. Have you been going live, John? I used to go over and watch them. I'm weird. Like I don't mind hanging out in the bigger channels, but I like hanging out in the smaller with the smaller YouTubers.
Yeah. I was watching that. It's more personable. Like I was watching. I watch a lot of tech YouTubers, and Linus Tech Tips is one of them.
Right. I like him a lot too.
He just rolled over 10 million subs. And he had that one live show, and John, he's growing probably 100,000 subs a day now. Every time I go to his channel every day, and it's like 10.1, 10.2, 10.3. Like, it is crazy. But there was 75,000 viewers in that last live he did where he said, I've been thinking about retiring.
Yeah.
And like on Rally Routes, you pretty well can't see the chat, but you can make out the super chats. On his on his live, you couldn't even keep up with the super chats if all you read were super chats. And he was getting like $100, $500. I was getting dizzy.
That's crazy.
I actually started watching him back when he still worked for NZXT.
Yeah. I used to watch the old TV shows. Do you remember the old let me see if I can find the name of it. The old computer TV show around 2001. What was the name of that? It was on Tech TV.
I had a life in 2001. What's that?
The Screensavers. Remember that show?
No.
Yeah, I watched it. I mean, I've been a computer geek my whole freaking life, my man. Most guys, when they were 15, 16 years old, were out chasing the ladies. And I was sitting in the back room of a computer shop with a guy that looked like he could have been a pedophile talking about Windows 3.1 and Windows 95 when it first came out. But the dude ended up being a great friend. He passed away last year, and it just broke my heart. His name was Mark Mollison. And I would sit and just talk. We would I want to set up a BBS. I'd love to set up like a one at the store where you can call up and join it and do the old bulletin board system. I just want to do that so bad. Set up a computer with a modem and that you can call in and connect to it and play games and the old script games, like where you would be, it's all text, no graphics. You know, you're walking down a street and you see something, you see a woman that you think you know. Do you talk to her or do you ignore her? And you're like, ignore. And like, you know, it's like a choose your own adventure game. I used to play those. I used to call, there was a guy that lived here local, and he had a BBS, and you could call up to it, and he moved. And when he moved, he took the he took everything with him, and I just really enjoyed that. But I've always loved computer stuff.
Huh. See, around 2001, I was just out of high school and going into college. And I had a girlfriend, so I didn't really spend too much time in front of the TV.
Yeah. How old are you, Cliff? You, what, 45 then?
Be 37
Oh,
in April.
I guess I wasn't paying close to your. I'm a couple years older than you. I wasn't sure how old you were. I was like, girlfriend. I'm thinking 2001. If you were younger than me, I was married. I got married at 21, and no looking back. When you find the perfect woman the first time, there ain't no reason to keep looking.
Yeah, I hear you. That was actually the last really deep, meaningful relationship I've had. It ended in 02, towards the end of 02.
Yeah.
I was a country mouse stuck in the city, and I was going crazy, and I had to get back out to the country.
Yeah, I live in the country and I love it. I couldn't be in a city. I hate driving to the city. That's what hurts my business, is I don't like to. We're old enough to be Pearl's sons. I just don't like. I just don't like traveling to um, the city at all, and it hurts my business because I live close to St. Louis, and it's become one of the most dangerous cities in the country. And I'm like, there ain't nothing there really worth dying for.
Yeah. How many cars drove past your house since you've been on?
None. I live at the end of a dead end. I'm at the end of a dead end road. Um, so there'll
Oh,
be.
wow.
I own 40 acres, and we live. Um, my town is about, the county's about 12,000 people. Like in the United States, they have. Well, I'm sure you're familiar. They have counties inside the state, and they're like just broken up like little states. They're kind of like states, but they're not. They're counties. It's nothing like a state really, but there's a local government. We have about 12,000 people that live in the county, and our town's about 4,000 people. And we, um, I own 40 acres right next to the town. Like my property butts up to the city property, and they have an industrial park right next to me over here. And so I don't have a whole lot of traffic. I'm at the end of the industrial park, which is nice.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I understand how jurisdictions work in the states. Like every state tries to do their own thing separate from federal government, and every county tries to do their own thing separate from both.
Right. Yeah, they definitely try to, it's the way it goes is it's federal government, state government, local government, and the higher government takes their laws take precedent over it, just trickles down.
Yeah.
Now that wasn't the way it was supposed to be. I mean, it was supposed to be strong state government, weak central government, and that would have probably been better. I'd say that, but um, to be honest, I'm pretty happy with a stronger, federal government. I'm not a bootlicker, but um, I'm not displeased with my government for the most part. If they could, you know, quit taking away, quit chipping away at the Constitution, I would be happy. But
Right.
I'm definitely, uh, I'm a nationalist. I think that everyone should love the nation that they live in, unless there's a reason not to. Sometimes that's bad, like in Germany in about the 1940s. But for the most part, like you're Canadian. There's a lot to be proud of. A lot that Canadian, that lot that a lot of neat things that Canada's done, and I think people, if you're Mexican, be proud of Mexico. If you're Guatemalan, you know, I don't know much about their history, but I'm sure there's a lot to be proud of. Um, and I just happen to be. I love living where I love. I love my state. I love my country. It's pretty awesome. Of course, I went to Jamaica and I lived it there too. Not that I want to move there, but it was pretty awesome too.
I've been around the U.S. and I enjoyed it there too. In
I
the
would,
time that I was there,
I would live.
because my biological father is Canadian. His mother is Canadian, but his father was from Rhode Island.
Oh, really?
and my biological mother is American. So most of my ancestry comes from the States anyway.
Do you have dual citizenship, or did you relinquish?
No, I've never had dual citizenship.
It'd probably be something worth looking into. I don't know if you can do it now, but it'd just be nice to have citizenship in both countries. But then they might want you to pay taxes in America too, so that might not be. Canada takes a lot of taxes, and I'm sure that America would try to take the rest. It probably wouldn't be good.
There is a system in place. Like if I went down to the States and won a whole bunch of money on a lottery or a game show, the IRS, of course, would take their chunk. But once I brought what was left back to Canada, I could actually apply to get that back, get that IRS payment back.
Oh, really?
Well, when I went to college, there was actually a girl in my class who went down and competed on The Price is Right.
Oh, that's cool.
And all of the hard goods that she won, she just left them there. She sold them in that state because it was way too much money for her to bring all that stuff back, because she would have been charged in tax and everything.
Oh yeah, that import duties, probably all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm getting old, Cliff. I'm getting old.
Yeah, some days I feel like that. But I've been a bad boy years back, so I probably won't ever get invited to a presidential dinner. Meaning I'll probably never go back to the States again.
That sounds like an interesting story.
It's a long story. It does end with White Owl. Well, it started with White Owl whiskey and ended with a 52-inch plasma TV going through a $18,000 picture window.
Holy crap.
Enjoy your youth, yeah? I'm enjoying it, and I'm paying for it. So there it is with the inside painted white. Kind of made it pop a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go over the red again where I got sloppy. Once the white dries, otherwise it'll dilute the red. and then it'll end up being pink. Don't really want that.
Yeah. Did you just finish a project?
Yeah. I can't keep up with my 3D printer, John.
It outworks you.
What? Eight hand dryers stolen from Edmonton area coffee shops in one day. Huh. Wow. I actually got stolen from the last time, because I usually get something stolen off my property once to twice a year, usually in the summertime. And last fall, when it happened, I've never been stolen from, and it made my day that much better. So I actually had a 5-gallon jerry can full of water.
Really?
I put water in it, and then I put a quart of gas in it just to give it the smell, and then left it outside beside my garage. And one day I went to work, and oh, it's gone.
It's epic.
And I had a really good day that day. And I was just expecting to get a knock on the door saying, "Hey, you messed up my truck by putting water in that jerry can." Like I was ready for that to happen, because I was just going to say, "Can I get my jerry can back?"
That would be really brazen of a person, though.
Yeah. I just hoped that instead of putting it into like a lawnmower or a rototiller, they put it, or even into their gas tank, that I was hoping they had put it into a slip tank, and therefore messing up 500 gallons of fuel.
Right. Something that you can do that's even more mean is get RC car fuel, put it in a can, and then if they dump that into their tank and it's pretty low, it burns at a really high. It's a really high octane, and it just will disintegrate a motor.
I do have 3/4 of a gallon of 20%.
Yeah. That high octane stuff, just these motors are not made to they aren't they aren't made for that.
Yeah. Because in Canada, you can't I can't defend my property with an iron fist.
What does that mean?
Like if I wanted to put up a security camera, I also have to put up a sign saying there's video surveillance on this property. And if I catch someone stealing from my garage, I cannot hurt them, because they can then sue me for being injured on my property.
Oh my gosh.
But I've actually been told by, he wasn't a cop, I guess you'd call him a special constable. He was a cop with all the privileges of being a cop without being able to carry a gun. But he said if you were to shoot a burglar in your house, he said to put another round in the ceiling. And at least the investigators would not be able to prove what order the bullets came out of the gun. Because then you could just say, well, I put one in the ceiling and he kept coming after me, so I had to put him down.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I had a problem when I lived in the next town over. I had a problem with, I was in a house with wooden framed windows, and kids would kick in my basement window and crawl in onto the dryer. So I went to the police station, and the guy, the officer there, he just shrugged, and he goes, "Well, I could come get fingerprints, but that's about it, and I can file a report." And I was like, "Is there anything I can do?" And he's like, well, "Sorta." And I went, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You can't put a bunch of nails through a 2x4 and then nail that under that window." And then he goes, "But I did not tell you that. I did not tell you to do that."
Ain't it? You would just think that it's just a person's basic liberty to be able to defend their life and property.
Yeah.
You know.
Because I'm the one that worked for it. I'm the one paying for it. So there was actually a rancher. It made the news. He heard a noise outside his house, and he looked out the window and he saw a guy stealing his quad. So he grabs his 22, and the guy's booking it down the driveway. Well, this guy just picks up the gun, fires a shot. Well, it hit the guy in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Guess who went to jail? It was the rancher.
Oh yeah, of course. That goes without.
And there was enough public outcry over this where they actually released him from jail. But 6 months later, this punk gets a lawyer saying that shot messed up my shoulder for life because it went through his rotator cuff and blew his rotator cuff up.
Yeah.
So he goes, "I can't work now." Well, bitch, you weren't working to begin with. So what's up?
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if he get any compensation out of him?
That I'm not sure. The last news story I've heard on the subject was the lawsuit itself.
Yeah.
But this guy was fighting for it. Like, no, I'm not going to give you any money.
Yeah.
But it's the Jim Carrey liar liar type lawyers.
Yeah, they make the money.
Because basically, like if I had put that 2x4 of nails underneath that window and a kid royally hurt himself on it, and I knew it was a kid because this window was a foot tall and 2 feet in from the outside wall area. So it was obviously a kid. Like a grown man wouldn't fit in there.
Yeah.
If that kid got hurt, he could get a lawyer that would say that I willingly put that board there to hurt whoever was coming into that house. Therefore, making it premeditated assault. Wrap that one around your head.
Yeah, you just have to wonder who come up with the concept of protecting the criminal. I don't get that. Like, why do the criminals get to have the rights?
Yeah. I mean, up until the 90s, people who are incarcerated in jails were still able to vote in elections.
Wow.
It was 97, 98 where they finally had that right taken away from them.
Now they're trying to give it to them here in the States. But of course, it's the Democrats that want them to be able to vote because obviously they want them to vote for them.
Well, yeah, you look at how many people in the States are incarcerated now nationwide. Like, the numbers are huge.
It's, you take away whatever is restraining people and takes men that were once moral and creates, immoral beasts out of them. A lot of people are against, like say religion. And if a person doesn't have any use for it and they can live a good moral life apart from it, and good for them. I'm glad to know that. I got a buddy that he's as atheist as the day is long, and he lives a pretty decent life. He does some stuff that I wouldn't necessarily do, but hey, he pays his taxes and he's a good dad. But, there are people out there that when you take that away, that I don't want to burn in hell for all eternity, and you replace it with, well, I'm just going to be dead one day, so I can do whatever makes me feel good now, and people don't have any consequences. It's kind of like not putting people in the United States. Now I have a buddy that's a police officer, and if you go out and you commit a crime, they take you down to the police station, they check you in, fingerprint you, photograph you, and then release you. They don't keep you in jail anymore. There's no punishment. And so the people know now they can, if they go out and steal, there's nothing's going to happen to them. They know the system. The Missouri prisons are so full, like you said, the prisons are so full that what they're going to do is put them on probation for their first and second and probably even their third offenses. So they just go out and do whatever they want, steal from people. But you better not do nothing to them. I went to a meeting the other night about community watch, and they said that if you shoot somebody, that it doesn't mean just because we're a stand your ground state, we have stand your ground laws and castle doctrine laws, that if you're in the wrong, you can still be prosecuted and go to prison. And I wanted to say so bad, if person's in my house and they're not invited, I don't see how you could consider me being in the wrong. But it all comes down to the way people interpret law and what they think what rights they think people should have. It's all about taking your rights away and giving them to other people. You should have the right to defend yourself. Oh, you don't get that right. That right is taken away from you because if you shoot that guy for attacking you, you're going to go to jail. Or if that guy used to have the right to defend your property, but they take that right away from you to give it to the guy that if he can steal your property and he can get away with it, then, good for him. They're taking the rights away from the good people and giving them to the bad people. And then they wonder why there's no good people left. It's because there's no reward in being good. You reward bad behavior with stolen stuff. And, you know, if you knew that you could steal, you probably wouldn't. I don't think you would, but just some average Joe, if he knew he could steal $100,000 worth of stuff a year, and if he got caught, most likely he's going to get a slap on the wrist and turned away. You know, hell, that's what the rich people have been doing in America forever, stealing from people, and if they get caught, then there's little to no consequence, gets shoved under the rug, and it's the poor people that are left hanging.
Yeah, a rich guy that embezzled $15 million over 20 years, he gets house arrest for 6 months.
Yeah, right.
The guy who stole a loaf of bread to feed his family, he gets thrown in jail for a year.
Cut his hand off or something, you know, or not quite that bad, but you know, but anymore though, they're all, you know, it's almost like they're all getting away with it, you know. Oh my man, I am jealous of your YouTube thing. Where did you get the program to do that? Did you just download it from somewhere, like the plan for it?
The plan, the website is called Thingiverse. Thingiverse.com.
Right.
And they basically have 3D projects that people have designed and then shared. And I've just been, you like, when you go to download the file, a dialog box comes up to where you can tip the designer, it's called.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And there's also where you could submit your own makes, it's called. So if you take someone's design, print it out on your own 3D printer, you can take a picture of it and post it on that design listing.
Yeah.
Which actually I might do with my Hot Wheels logo, because I am so freakishly obsessed with that one. I did a really good job on that one.
Yeah, it looked like it took a lot of work.
It was 4 hours of video, edited down to 37 minutes.
I'm gonna have to go watch that. I didn't do a whole lot at all today. YouTube wise, I pretty much went to oh, that's, what is that? Is that PlayStation?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
on a real little stand. I'm gonna paint it like the red and then the rainbow.
I
think it's red. You'll like this one, John.
Oh, Nintendo. That is freaking awesome. How is that printed? It looks real delicate.
It's printed one layer. Like these are different colors, but that's printed like solid.
Yeah.
In white. And this is printed in what's called vase mode, which it just does the outside perimeter and leaves the inside hollow. But in something like this, there's actually grid supports running up the inside it. And you can actually see the supports in something like that.
Yeah.
Like there's the grid pattern.
That's awesome.
Kind of that cross-hatched, and it just goes up inside. And actually on this little dog, it makes for quite a cool little design on it.
Yeah. How long did that dog take to print?
Yeah, 6.5 hours, I think. But yeah, like this one was printed solid, and it's got that same crosshatch design inside, but actually changed in the program to add an extra layer on the top. Otherwise, you'd be able to see it.
Yeah.
And this is what was printed with vase mode. So that's why it's open there. This thing was printed with the same mode. Get it out here without knocking everything on the floor.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
And that only took probably 45 minutes to print. But it does a solid bottom. And then actually what it does as it goes around, the x-axis goes up really slow. You can actually hear the stepper motor go as it goes around,
Yeah.
which actually moves the seam every time it goes around. And like otherwise there'd be a seam that runs up the side. I can't really make it out on this one. But basically it's a spot where the nozzle comes around, stops, moves up, goes around, stops, moves up. So you'd get that seam that runs up the side.
Yeah.
In vase mode, you don't. It looks absolutely uniform all the way around because the seam is actually moving. The guy who sold me the printer was right. It is one hell of a steep learning curve. So I've actually done quite a bit of research on the N64 logo and actually found out that many of the games for N64 on the opening screen, the color scheme was wrong. There's a YouTube video, I think it said a third of the N64 games had the wrong logo colors on them.
Oh, really?
But I actually found a licensed Nintendo 64 logo that spins. So I actually took a slow motion video with my phone. So it'll be painted with authentic Nintendo 64 colors. Like the proper faces will be painted. And the issue was, it was just like that, where it was a 3D image, but Nintendo released a 2D picture for the developers, for the game developers. So they had to speculate, for example, what color that face was, right? That you couldn't see.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I kind of like the way it is, the way it just looks. How long did that take to print?
3.5 hours. But actually only one leg printed properly in vase mode. The other one's printed the other three printed layer by layer. I also wanted to print it with supports, and it wouldn't print with supports because I was actually losing the battle. Here's that, like this is like a bottom of a leg, and you can see the support design on the inside.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But these ones, it got to the point where when the nozzle came out there, it popped the end off the bed. And I tried it twice and failed twice. So then I tried it in vase mode and it actually printed. I wasn't too concerned about it because I had plans to paint it anyway.
Yeah. So some of the designs might not work that well on your printer.
That's correct.
Yeah. Apparently Nashville was hit by a tornado. How about that?
Lots of tornadoes this time of year?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on, my man. I tell you what, makes me want to dig a big hole in the ground and just go there for about a year and see what happens.
There'd be like that guy out in Toronto buries 50 old school buses and has a underground bunker.
That dude kicks ass. I've seen his stuff before. Yeah.
But I got plans on buying a school bus. Take the seats out, and that's going to be my storage unit wagon.
Yeah, I'd like to find a short bus and do that with it.
There's two different designs I'm looking for. Like I've got a commercial driver's license, so I can get as big of a unit as I want to. But I either want a school bus with a handicap lift on the side, or a X city bus with a wheelchair ramp. One of them with because just with a wheelchair ramp, because the doors are extra wide in them. And on modern city buses, like from the mid '90s and newer, it's got the kneeling front end, like the front axle. There, I even touched up the black because I messed up on some of the black. I kept it bare between the Y, O, and U because they weren't part of the letters.
Yeah. They look fine. Tornadoes. Holy crap.
True.
Yeah.
There we go.
That looks freaking awesome. I got that same camera.
Yeah. 922.
The 920.
Oh, yeah. I stand corrected.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 920. Yeah, S. Yeah, that's a good camera. That's what I use at the store.
Take one hot shoe off and put on another one so I can put it on a different tripod. There's actually a ramp that I built for my cat. Goes up and then up, and then he's got a perch there that sticks out on the window. I made all that with the exception of those two pieces of plywood. It was all made by a recycled box spring mattress.
Oh, that's cool.
And the burlap. But that's the cover of the mattress, and that's the stitching that goes around the corner of it. It's all the wood. And I tried some Shosugi Ben burning on it. but he really digs it.
That is awesome. That'd be cool to see him go up it.
Well, that's the tripod I was using. Easy. He's not performing for anybody anytime soon.
He looks like mine. Mine was laying out. He's passed out because he went to he got to go outside today while we were outside working, and he don't normally go outside, but he was outside walking on the wall and laying on the porch, and he was he was beat.
I really like this. It's a really cool way to. Well, now it's actually facing some light.
That is awesome. Funko, that's too cool. That'd be awesome. You should.
It's like an inch thick.
You could make something like that and send it to like a large channel and have them give you a shout out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Funko channels out there. If you think reselling is hard to get into, imagine how hard Funko is. There's only so many different pops and so many different ways you can talk about them. Imagine,
Yeah.
Hey guys, Tonka, that's cool. Dad's Vintage Garage. I don't know when he wrote that. He said, John, what's on your mind? It ain't Georgia. Drinking orange juice out of a SpongeBob cup at 3:16 a.m. in the state of Missouri.
Is that a sippy cup?
Yes, it's a sippy cup. I don't have a sippy cup lid on it though. I just wanted a little cup. And don't laugh at me, man. Yes, you'll have to read the hat. It says, "Pardon me, but you've obviously mistaken me for someone who gives a damn." I don't care. I'll drink. I'm gonna drink orange juice out of a sippy cup with SpongeBob and Patrick on the side of it at 3:00 in the morning in the state of Missouri. Wearing my hat here.
I had a shirt one time that says everybody is entitled to my opinion.
Oh, that is man. I need that shirt. I'm notorious for giving my opinion to people. People go, you think your problem is with you, John, is you think you're right all the time. And I go, Do you ever argue from a point of view that you think you're wrong? Like, does that make any sense? Like, I don't believe this shit at all, but I think the sky is purple. That sky is purple. I don't believe it, but prove me wrong. I'm like, that sounds like some real crazy left wing, like I'm voting for Bernie Sanders stuff. Like, I don't know what to tell you about that. That's cool. I like that background.
I was hanging out on Donatella's channel and they were picking on Pat D, so if I figured if Pat came back on, I'd get something that was more like the background that he had. Try and make him feel comfortable.
Yeah, poor Pat. We were discussing tonight. I was watching a couple of YouTubers, and I'm just like, I just go, you know what? I go, I'm not a great YouTuber, but I like making videos. I said I make videos because I just like videos and I like doing YouTube. I said, but sometimes I just don't. I watch certain channels. Like there are a ton of channels in the reselling world right now. Like if you type in eBay or flea market or vintage, there are just literally a plethora of new content out there to watch. And I go, what in the world? It's like the YouTube gods smile down and they're like, you're gonna get 10,000 subs over the next 2 months. And I'm like, how in the world? How in the world? If I could make like just $300 or $400 a month from YouTube, my world would be right. That would take care of that would take care of my issue with all my little bills that I have here at the house, or it'd give me an extra $300 to reinvest stuff back into the store, and that would be nice.
Yeah, for sure.
It's tough to keep that store loaded full of cool stuff. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's exactly what she said. There's this video here of these two little kids that had gotten a hold of the shaver and they've shaved both their heads. Oh my God. And that little girl, oh, why would you, if you have shavers, people, lock them up and put them up high because your kids will shave their heads. That's horrible.
I remember a show, I think it was on America's Funniest Videos, where the lady's walking down the hall and there's just white powder everywhere.
Yeah.
She rounds the corner into the living room and there's two little boys with a great big bag of flour and it's empty. And I mean, there was flour everywhere, like on the walls, on the pictures. And then she's just panning around. And she's like, it looked like a snowman puked all over my living room.
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
And I was like, geez, these boys are, 2, 3. Like they're just old enough to pretty well hold the empty bag, show mom, and say, look. And I mean, I did that when I was 25 trying to make cupcakes. Just the kitchen was an absolute mess.
Right. I used to make cookies and it would be about the same thing.
I was bad with cookie dough because I'd just end up chewing on the cookie dough.
Right.
Man, I gave up all that stuff.
I've been using PicMonkey to make my new thumbnails, and I really think they look a lot better than my old thumbnails. PicMonkey is about $6 or $7 a month, but holy crap, they're just I love it. It's a great program. It's relatively cheap. You can pay like a little bit more for it, and it will like edit the backgrounds out of your photos and stuff by itself. But there's a few programs that I found that really makes my YouTubing a lot easier, and that's one of them.
Oh, Chris was streaming right up till an hour ago. Holy cow.
Thrift Beast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had just scheduled this live, and I went back to YouTube and saw he was live, so I messaged him. I was like, well, shucks, I didn't know you were going live. And then he goes, well, I won't be long. And then he lets Krillin in. So I was like, well, this ain't going to end. I had painted one of these using the wrong colors, the wrong color.
Really?
I don't think they've ever used blue. It's a nice blue. It's cobalt blue.
That's freaking awesome.
So I don't think I can legally sell them if they are the patented colors.
Just print them inside, just print them and sell them to where people can paint them themselves.
Yeah. Because like Hot Wheels would have a patent on the yellow, red, and white. But see, one of the things keeping me from just printing and selling as a whole bunch is the fact that I'm not designing them. It's other people that took the work to actually design them.
Well, brother, I think I'm gonna go to bed. It's about 3:30 here, and I gotta take stuff to the booth in the morning. I got 4 totes of crap to take up there. Maybe do a video on the stuff that I'm putting out. I haven't did a booth video in a while. And then I gotta get my father-in-law's pickup truck and go pick up my new shelf unit so that I can put it in my store. I appreciate you for letting me come on, though, buddy. I really enjoy you. I think you're a great guy. Shame you didn't live so far away and in another country. I'd take you out to dinner.
I appreciate the company.
Yeah. Oh, I enjoy talking to you. You're a good guy. I like talking to John, Dad's Vintage Garage. Both of you. You're the only 2 shows that I mainly ever go on. I was on that show the other night with all of those ladies, and they were like, "Come on in." I'm like, "No."
Even Pat's like, "Come on, give me a hand, help me out." And I come on, and then he takes off.
I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna not do that because I can see Donatella and um, what's her name? She it's not Sue.
Rob,
It's Robin. Yeah, Robin, Tobin, or whatever they call her. Yeah,
yeah.
those two together are hilarious, but I don't want to get in the middle of it because they're throwing all the innuendos back and forth, and I'm like, I'm gonna end up saying something I ain't supposed to say, so I'm just gonna stay away.
Yeah, after Donna signed off, I actually chatted with the other three. Oh, God. Probably another 3 hours.
That would have been fun. That would have been fun. But well, you have a good night, buddy. I hope you have a good day today. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. See you, John.
See you.
And with that, I think I'm going to sign off. I can't see me talking much about anything else. I thank the 5 of you for hanging out, even the ones that popped in off and on. I appreciate your watch time as always, and I'll see you in the next one.